was Saturday morning. First collection on Saturday. Um, we built arch number 3 last round, and then upgraded some houses to cottages. I'm gonna collect here and start the changes that I'm gonna make, but then we'll bounce over to Arborhole and make sure that we're on track to. We should be one collection behind in Arborhole essentially. So the layout that we have currently in Conrear will establish this collection in Arborhole. Make sense? Full Euphoria, it looks like we're going to be a little bit low on the supply side, but with the farm built, it might actually be the other way around. So depending on where the imbalance is, we'll balance the other resource. So a little bit low on the supply side, which is kind of what I figured. So we're going to get another farm this round, and let's check our resource cost or our goods cost. I would like to get a farm as well as an expansion, but we may not have enough resources to do both. So we'll do at least a farm though. So on the next collection, oh, there you go. I think we will have enough resources to do both now. But either way, on the next collection, we should be pretty balanced on coin and supplies with a second farm in place. So let's bounce over to, I guess while we do Arborhole, we can get a goods building going. We need 62, so that'll be, and it's cutting it pretty close. I think we can do it though. It might be a little tight on the coin side, but I think we can do it. Iron is what I need, right? Yep. Okay. Let's bounce over to Arborhole. Alright, so Arborhole, we have one farm. We have one farm in Conrear. We have one cottage here in Arborhole. Planted 2 last round in Conrear, so hopefully we will be able to do that this round in Arborhole. 2 arches here in Arborhole, 3 in Conrear. Conrear is also one expansion ahead. So the goal for this round to be on pace with Conrear would be expansion, arch number 3, and then a couple upgraded houses. Big difference, like I said, is that Conrear has some attack boost from the main city, so I am able to keep going on the map without adding attack boost to my settlement or printing additional troops. Arborhole does not have that benefit, but like I said in my earlier videos, it's better to lose potentially 1 day of actions. I still haven't maxed out my action bar yet, but it's better to potentially lose those actions early on in the season. If you absolutely just cannot fight, don't feel compelled to burn up your actions by printing troops that you're just going to kill anyways. Just take the vacation for that day, build up your city to the point where you can actually start planning aqueducts and being effective with the troops that you're building. Does that make sense? So at some point we are going to have to make that transition here in Arborhole and not keep up with the Conrear city. But for now, I think we can continue building up the settlement. Full happiness, so we can go ahead and collect. I did not have I didn't have enough coin after last collection to fill in that last tile house, obviously. So might be a little bit lean on the coin side, but we'll see what we get. Okay, so not enough for farm number 2, which is fine. We didn't do that in Conrear either. Do have enough to do arch number 3, but might be a pretty tight squeeze getting our 5th expansion. I really do not want to delete houses or roads or even butchers this collection, just because it is going to be so tight on the coin side. So we're just going to have some messed up timers this round. We do need a goods building in here, but I think we're going to be down to like barely enough to swing both. We might even need some extra coin for the map potentially. Let's just rush it. So we need 38. going to be pretty close. Looks like 220s is going to be the most cost effective. We'll probably end up a little bit short on the coin side, actually. Hopefully we get it from the map. Looks like... Looks like this front row is actually going to be the best place for expansions. I guess we'll start with this one. Yep, so about 2,000 short on the coin thing. Let me get this put back together real quick. Arch number 3 will go there if we can get it from the map. I would like to get some extra tile houses packed in here, if possible. So we can do it one of two ways. We can either hope for the extra coin from the map and get arch number 3. We don't really need the happiness though. It's just in anticipation of next round being able to upgrade the cottages without having to worry about happiness on the round after that. And then in Arvahall, since I am going to have to focus on attack earlier on, having additional happiness besides just the bare minimum that we need to collect, having that additional happiness is going to allow me to plant aqueducts and still have complete collections. Does that make sense? So we can do it one of two ways. We can either try and get the arch from the map, or we can take the coin that we do have and increase our coin production from the city itself. So we'll just be a step behind Conrear, like a step and a half behind Conrear at this point. Which, like I said, is to be expected because I have 0% army boost in Arvahall, right? Let's check the map real quick and see where we're at. We have a donation node. I really don't think I'm going to be able to fight. So at this point, I actually might as well donate. I'm going to donate all my archers since they're cheap to produce. Didn't get any coin. Bummer. Let's, I do have extra supplies to donate, actually, potentially. Let's see if we can get a couple there. That's about all I want to spend on supplies. No dice on the coin, which is fine. Like I said, the other alternative here, and probably the more sustainable option, would just be to use this extra space to plant more tile houses and some cottages and ramp up our coin intake a little bit. So let me get that set up real quick. We're going to be good on supplies next round. Before I make these changes, we are going to be good on supplies. We need 100 for the arch number 3, which we'll have, and then 50,000 for farm number 2. And we have almost enough coin for arch number 3. So the goal is to ramp up coin to the point where we can get farm number 2 and arch number 3 on the next collection and get both in the same whack. So we'll be done with this butcher, and we're going to regroup this area for more coin production. So let me get that set up. Alright, so I didn't want to completely deplete my extra supplies. I did plant 2 cottages. I didn't want to get too carried away, so I planted enough cottages to balance the coin and supply, and we're gonna print a couple archers to either donate, or if we do get a fight node, we'll try fighting, and we're probably going to lose a lot of archers, but this round at least we'll be able to get some surplus. So having that balanced coin and supplies is going to come in handy, and I'm going to intentionally keep a portion of that for next collection so that we have a pretty comfortable margin for farm number 2, arch number 3, and then probably an aqueduct the collection after that. So let's grab a couple troops. Yeah, let's grab I guess we'll grab one more. So that should give us a little bit of room to play. So now that we got those archers collected, let's plug this extra house in there. Happiness is, we have a ton of extra population, so happiness, we are going to have to delete some houses to get Euphoria, but we're still at the 120% metric. So we're still getting 8,200 off these tile houses that cost 2,500 to plant. Almost 6,000 in profit per tile house. So even though we didn't get the arch number 3 this round, we'll be able to do that pretty comfortably next round. Let's do the math on what we're getting. Okay, next collection, we'll collect and delete 7 tile houses at 8,250. We need 450 happiness currently, but once those last 2 cottages are done, we'll need more than that. So we'll collect and delete 7 tile houses. The other 9 tile houses will be at full happiness for a total of 84,600 on those, and then the 3 cottages will be full happiness for 5,400. 7 butcher and 1 farm also at full happiness. And I might actually, we don't have quite enough coin for farm number 2, so I might actually collect and delete a butcher and plant an amphitheater to manipulate happiness, just so I don't have to delete as many tile houses. We'll see though. Not quite enough for a farm, but I'm actually pretty happy with that. We'll end up planting arch number 3, so that the collection after that we won't have to play with our happiness as much. So the goal is to get farm number 2 and arch number 3, right? If we don't have to mess with coin as much by taking care of arch number 3 first, farm number 2 will be a piece of cake the round after that. And like I said, it's at some point in the near future in Arbor Hall, I am going to have to start prioritizing attack over resource production. But so far I think we're on track. A little bit behind Conrear, but not bad. So this is what we've accomplished this round. I did leave a few resources in the bar. So combined with the upcoming collection, we would have enough for a farm. I think arch number 3 is going to be the priority though, just so we don't have to manipulate coin as much. We're getting plenty of supplies. We have enough supplies from collection as well as what's in the bar. We have enough supplies to cover farm and arch in the same round. We don't have enough coin to do that though. So the supply side we're good on. I don't think farm number 2 is the first priority. I think top priority is arch number 3 to increase that coin intake for the collection after that. Still, 196 over 140 is a pretty healthy collection for an Iron Age main city with 0 QI head start of any kind, right? So let's jump into the map real quick with our fancy new archers. We got 30 of them. Let's see if we can be useful. I don't really want to donate any more supplies, but we'll chip in some troops again. Cool. That still leaves me a couple to play with. I'll try and fight on one of these nodes when it opens up. I don't really want to move backwards, but once these nodes up here open up, I'll see if I can fight a little bit. So look at my action bar. I'm not gonna max that out and be chomping at the bit like, oh, I have actions to burn and I can't fight because I don't have enough troops. I need to print as many ballistas as I can. Even though I'm pretty weak at the fighting, like I have 0%, even though my fighting is pretty weak, I've still been able to use my actions and get rewards. So there you go. I've still been able to participate. Let's take a mental note of this and jump back over to Conrear. We have 1, 2 arches, farm number 1, and we've done the math that we'll be able to plant either arch number 3 or farm number 2 on the next collection. Not quite enough for both, and then eventually farm number 2 will go in this location. But for now, we're just going to ramp up the coin supply, right? We have 1, 2, 3 butchers in the back plus a farm, 1, 2, 3, 4 butchers in the front, and a disconnected archer. sandwiched in these houses. Here's the flat note on that. Okay, and look at, kind of make a mental note of this road pattern too. Okay, I'm gonna pause it. Let's jump over to Conrear and compare notes. Okay, so here's Conrear. Let's start with the flat mode. Remember I said take a mental note of the road organization, pretty much identical. In Arbor we have 2 arches, we have 3 here. And then we also have this disconnected archer in the exact same place. I've collected and haven't used my collection yet. This iron foundry is still cooking and I'm probably going to rush that. Big difference here is that I haven't needed to print troops in Conrear. So I still have, I'm getting a few extra troops from Ascended stuff to start, and I still have all 12 of those besides the horses which I donated. So I haven't had to print troops in Conrear, which is giving me a head start. But if you look at the structure again here, we've got, I need to move that. There you go. 1, 2, 3 butcher in the back, plus a farm. And then 1, 2, 3, this would have been 4 butcher in the front. Basically identical. So Arbor is actually keeping up, my 2 million player points, Arbor City is keeping up pretty well with a 1.5 billion city in Conrear. It is possible to do this regardless of the resources that you start with at opening. So the Arbor is going to end up being a couple collections behind by the end, because we're going to have to stop more often to print troops, start building attack earlier on, things like that, where Conrear is able to fight, so we can spend more time on the production side. But that's really not the end of the world. Like I said, I was still able to use basically all of my actions in Arbor. So please don't let that discourage you guys. Goal is to get expansion number 6 here in Conrear. I think I'll have enough to do a farm in the same. Yeah, we figured out that I would be able to do that. So we'll get a farm in expansion number 2. So Conrear is essentially 1 expansion, 1 arch, and 1 farm ahead of Arbor. Arbor's next collection will catch up on the arch, and then be able to do farm number 2 plus expansion number 6 in Arbor on the collection after that. So really not that bad, honestly, for a bare bones Iron Age main city. I'm gonna rush this goods building and figure out where I want to put my expansion. This map is kind of junky this season. I've got obstacles basically everywhere. So I'll figure out where I'm going to put that. Be right back. Okay, got all the goods I needed. So 90 exactly on the dot. Take a mental note of my available goods. I've used up all of them down to 0, pretty precisely. So try to maximize that usage, just so you're not printing more goods than you really need, because it kind of slows down your city progress. So this is the expansion I'm going with this round, and I'll map out the rest of them for you real quick, just so you can see what I'm looking at. I think I'll do 1, 2, 3 over here. Shift all my triumphant arches into that right side, as well as more triumphant arches that I'll add in later phases. And then that'll leave a space of 4 in here for butcher and tile house, but primarily, but possibly a farm if we need it at some point. And then my other 2 expansions down here. So that would be a total of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's what I'm looking at. If I do an 11th expansion, it would be down here, I think. And also, just on the expansion note, I never buy the 250 shards. So when I present to you my end city and I've got 10 expansions, please don't think that I'm getting 10 expansions because I'm spending a whole lot of shards. That's not the case, and I never do it that way. I buy the first 3 with shards for a total of 450, and then everything else is produced with goods. So Archer, disconnected archer is going to have to get shifted temporarily. But we'll have room for a couple more fillers in here. So in Arvahol, we don't have farm number 2 yet, right? We'll be able to accomplish this round in Conrear. And then that's pretty much a wrap. So, shuffled around a little bit. Like I had the empty pocket here for the farm, but I kind of want to shuffle all this temporary stuff over and build the permanent stuff in a more logical place. So we'll put farm number 2 over here. That corner's kind of fixed this season. So that's pretty much it for this. I do have almost enough resources for another cottage instead of one of these tile houses. I think I could actually get it just by deleting a tile house. Let's try that real quick. Yeah, that'll give me enough. I am gonna hit the map now though and try and get some more, hopefully some hardware fragments, but that doesn't usually seem to work out that way. So at least get some resources, I hope. I hope this is helpful for you guys. I hope it helps the more developed main cities. I hope it helps you guys capitalize on the advantages that you have in QI from attack, from completing settlements, from having quality event hardware that you've accumulated, as well as initial resources from Ascended stuff. So if you have a more advanced city, I hope this is helpful for you guys in terms of how to scale up your city production pretty quickly. So 3 arches on Saturday morning plus 2 farms is a pretty healthy head start. I hope it's also helpful to the new players though, cities like Arvahol that are starting with absolutely nothing in the main city, but still able to not only participate in the map, but actually build up a city that's going to take a little bit longer to get established than what I'm doing in Conrear. But once it is established, I'll actually be able to fight sustainably on probably level 5 or 6 even in Arvahol with aqueducts and some extra arches. So considering I have 0% attack from the main city, if you're able to auto battle on difficulty level 6 or 7, that's a pretty big accomplishment, you know? So I hope this is helpful to the more experienced people, as well as the newer people that get intimidated in QI and they're like, oh, my city sucks, so I don't even bother with QI. It's still worth doing. I mean, even if you don't buy the pass, which I do in Conrear, but I don't in Arvahol, just because I'm not going to make as much progress there. Even if you don't buy the pass, the rewards are worth having. You know, it's good for your main city in terms of goods, forge points, as well as your GBG attack. So QI is worth doing. I dislike some of the changes in this new system, but still worth doing. So all that said, I hope this is helpful for you guys, and I'm actually going to play it now instead of talking about it. I'll talk to you later.